Tom lived on a small mining colony at the edge of human space. The colony was dusty and quiet. People worked hard every day, digging minerals and fixing machines. Tom was one of the miners. He liked his simple life. He woke up early, ate breakfast with his friends, and went to work. One morning, the sky changed. A huge ship came out of nowhere and stopped above the colony. It was unlike any human ship. It was big and shiny, with strange shapes and glowing lights. The people on the colony stopped working. They all looked up, afraid and curious. Tom felt his heart beat fast. He had never seen such a ship. It did not look like a warship, but no, one knew what it was. Suddenly, a loud sound came from the ship. A door opened, and several tall creatures came out. These aliens were very different. Their skin was smooth and green. They had long arms and legs. Their eyes were big and bright. They wore armor that looked like metal plates. They walked slowly and looked serious. The aliens spoke in a strange language. Then, one of them spoke in perfect English. "We want to see Tom." The alien said, "Only Tom." People were shocked. Who was Tom to them? Tom stepped forward, feeling confused but calm. "That's me," he said. The alien nodded. "Come with us. You are needed." Tom looked at his friends. They looked worried but told him to be careful. Tom knew he had to go. He wanted to find out why aliens wanted him. He followed the aliens into their ship. Inside, the air was cool. The walls were smooth and shiny. Strange lights moved across the ceiling. Tom saw many aliens inside the ship, all watching him. They did not speak but looked very interested. Tom felt strange. He was not a soldier or a hero. He was just a miner. Why would aliens want him? The alien leader, Chris, came to Tom. "We have been watching humans for a long time," Chris said. "There is a story about you, about your power." Tom frowned. "I do not understand. I am just a miner. I have no power." Chris smiled slightly. "That is what we want to learn. Come with us." The ship moved fast through space. Tom looked out the window and saw stars and planets fly past. After a long time, the ship stopped near a huge space station. It was much larger than any ship Tom had seen. The station was round and had many lights. It looked like a city in space. Tom felt small next to it. The aliens took Tom inside. The space station was full of many different creatures. Some had scales, some had feathers, some looked like plants. They all spoke quietly and looked at Tom. Tom felt nervous, but did not show it. He walked with the aliens to a large room. It was full of seats in a circle. In the middle was a large table. This was the Galactic Council. Chris spoke to the group. "We have brought Tom here to learn about humans. We want to understand why humans are so strong." One of the council members, a tall creature with blue skin, looked at Tom. "Tell us your story." "Human, tell us about your battles, your kill count." Tom blinked. "I do not have a kill count. I have never been in a battle." The council members looked confused. They whispered among themselves. Chris said, "There's a record. It shows your name on many battles. You have destroyed many enemies." Tom shook his head. "That is not me. I am a miner. I have never fought." Chris looked at the data again. "There may be to humans with the same name, but you share the same blood. You have the same strength." The council was silent. Tom wondered what was going to happen next. He decided to wait and see. He knew his life was about to change. Tom stood inside the huge chamber of the Galactic Council. Around him sat many strange creatures. Some had sharp claws. Some had many eyes. Some looked like glowing stones. All of them stared at Tom. Their eyes were full of questions. Tom felt the weight of their gaze. He was a simple man from a mining colony, not a warrior or leader. Yet these powerful aliens believed he was someone important. They wanted to know his kill count, how many enemies he had defeated. But Tom had no such record. He never fought. Chris, the alien commander, stepped forward. His long arms moved as he spoke. "Tom, the records say you are a human warrior with the greatest kill count in history. This is why the council invited you. We need to understand how humans became so powerful." Tom looked at the faces around him. Many were skeptical, others curious. "I am not a warrior," Tom said calmly. "I am a miner. I have never been in any war." One of the council members, a short creature with blue skin and 3 eyes, leaned forward. "Then why do we have these files showing a human named Tom destroying fleets and winning battles across many systems?" Tom shook his head. "That is not me. I only know my colony and the work I do. Maybe someone else has my name." Chris looked thoughtful. "It is possible, but the name Tom is rare in your culture. The files show many battles fought by someone very like you." Tom's mind raced. Was there another human with his name? Or did the aliens misunderstand humans? The truth was a mystery. After a pause, Chris said, "We will not assume. We want to see what you can do. Prove to us your strength." Tom felt a sudden nervousness. He had never trained for fighting. His skills were mining and fixing machines. But he knew the aliens expected something from him. Chris led Tom to a different part of the ship. It was a large room filled with machines and strange weapons. The walls were covered with screens showing moving targets. "This is a combat simulator," Chris explained. "Here you will face our best war machines. Show us your skill." Tom studied the machines. They looked dangerous and fast. He felt out of place, but he did not want to fail. The simulator started. Robots and drones appeared, moving quickly and shooting beams. Tom dodged and moved, using his hands and quick thinking to avoid damage. He found a metal pipe and used it like a staff. With careful timing, he hit the machine's weak spots. The drones fell one by one. Tom's heart beat fast. He was not a soldier, but his work in the mines had made him strong and quick. His mind was sharp and he could solve problems fast. The aliens watched in silence. Their eyes widened as Tom disabled the machines without using lethal force. He used tools and his environment to win. When the simulation ended, Tom was tired but proud. He had not killed anyone, but he showed something else: cleverness and courage. Chris smiled. "You surprised us, Tom. Your strength is different from what we expected." One council member said, "This human may not have the kill count, but he has skill and heart." Tom smiled quietly. For the first time, he felt humans could be seen for who they really were, not just warriors, but survivors. Chris nodded. "We will study you more. The galaxy must learn what makes humans strong." Tom looked out the window of the ship. Stars shone brightly. He thought of his home, his friends, and his quiet life. Now, he was part of something much bigger. The aliens who came for his kill count were beginning to understand that power was not only in destruction, but also in the will to live and adapt. Tom's journey was only beginning. The large room inside the Galactic Council was quiet. Tom stood in the center, surrounded by many strange creatures. Each of them had a serious look on their face. They waited for him to speak. The council was ready to hear what he had to say about his battles. Tom took a deep breath. He looked around the room. His voice was calm but steady. "I have never been in a war," he said. "I do not have a kill count." The council members whispered among themselves. Some looked surprised. Others looked doubtful. One of the council elders, a tall being with silver skin and many eyes, spoke in a clear voice. "You say you have never fought, but our records say otherwise. We have seen your name on many battle reports. You have destroyed many fleets and defeated strong enemies." Tom shook his head. "I am not that person. I work as a miner. I have never fought in battles. Maybe someone else has my name." The council was silent for a moment. Then Chris, the alien commander who had brought Tom here, stepped forward. "The records might be from a different time or a different human, but we believe all humans have great strength. That is why we invited you, to learn what makes humans so dangerous." Tom looked at Chris. "Strength is not only in fighting," he said. "Humans survive because they adapt. We work together. We never give up." A council member with green scales and forearms nodded. "Your words are wise, but we want to see proof, not just talk." Chris moved to the side and pressed a button. The walls of the chamber changed. The lights dimmed. A large screen appeared. It showed a map of a distant planet. "This is a simulation," Chris said. "You will face enemies there. Show us how you fight. Tom felt a mix of fear and determination. He was not trained to fight, but he wanted to show the truth. The simulation began. On the screen, alien soldiers appeared. They moved quickly, firing weapons. Tom watched carefully. He noticed their patterns and weaknesses. Using his knowledge from the mines, Tom found ways to avoid the attacks. He used the environment on the screen, hiding behind rocks, setting traps, and using tools. The council watched in silence. Tom moved with care and speed. He did not kill many enemies, but he stopped their attacks and kept himself safe. When the simulation ended, Tom felt tired but calm. He looked at the council members. They looked surprised and thoughtful. Chris said, "You did not win by killing. You won by thinking and adapting. This is something new for us." The council speaker nodded. "Perhaps we judged humans wrong. They may not be the strongest warriors, but their strength is different. It is in their will to live and their cleverness." Tom smiled. "That is what I wanted to show." The council members whispered again. Some smiled. Others looked serious but respectful. Chris looked at Tom with new respect. "We will learn more from you. The galaxy must understand humans better." Tom felt a strange feeling inside. He was no longer just a miner. He was a representative of his people. The council's demand for a kill count had changed. Now they wanted to know about human spirit and strength. Tom looked out the window. The stars shone brightly. He thought about his home and the future. He knew this was only the start of a long journey. The galaxy was watching, and humans had much to show. Tom stood quietly in the Galactic Council chamber after the simulation. The council members looked at him with mixed feelings, some with respect, others with confusion. The idea of a human who could win battles without killing was new to them. They wanted answers. Chris stepped forward. "Tom, we must show you something important," he said. The alien commander turned to a nearby screen and tapped it with his finger. The screen lit up with images and reports from many years ago. The images showed great space battles. Huge ships exploded in fire. Alien fleets fell under the power of a human named Tom. The reports spoke of battles won and enemies defeated. The name Tom was written clearly in many places. Tom looked at the screen and felt a chill. This was not his story. He had never been in space battles or fought in wars, yet the council believed these reports were true. Chris said, "We thought you were this man, or at least related, but you say you are not." Tom nodded. "I am not that man. I am a miner. I know nothing of battles like these." One council member, a tall creature with many eyes and silver skin, spoke. "The records may belong to a human from a long time ago, but your people have changed since then." Tom listened carefully. Maybe the old stories are about a human warrior from the past. "I do not know him. I live in peace now." Chris nodded. Slowly, humans have a strange reputation. Some fear you as warriors, others see you as survivors. The council looked at Tom with new interest. "Tell us more about your people," said one. "How do humans live now?" Tom smiled softly. "We live simply. We work hard. We help each other. We face many problems, but we do not give up. We learn from our mistakes and keep going." Another council member asked, "What makes humans strong if not battle?" Tom thought for a moment. "Our strength is in our will. We never stop trying. We can be gentle and kind, but also brave when needed." The council members nodded slowly. They were learning a new truth about humans. Chris said, "The legend of the warrior Tom is known, but you, the man before us, show a different kind of power." Tom looked at the council. Maybe the legend is not about killing. Maybe it is about surviving and protecting what is important. The chamber was silent for a moment. Then, one of the council elders spoke. "Your words have meaning. Humans are not only warriors, they are more." Tom felt hope. He wanted the aliens to understand humans not just as fighters, but as beings with courage and heart. Chris said, "We will study this new side of humanity. Your presence here is the first step." Tom looked around the chamber. Many eyes watched him with respect. He realized that the council was beginning to see humans in a new light. He thought of his home and the quiet life he loved, but now he also felt a duty to show the galaxy the true strength of his people. The misunderstood legend of Tom was only the beginning. The real story was about a people who never gave up. After the meeting in the Galactic Council chamber, Tom was led to a new area of the alien ship. This place was different from the quiet halls he had seen before. The room was filled with bright lights, strange machines, and weapons that looked both beautiful and dangerous. It was clear the aliens wanted to test Tom in more ways than just words. Chris stood beside Tom and said, "We want to see how you perform in real challenges. This will help us understand human strength better." Tom felt a mixture of fear and determination. He was not a soldier or a fighter, but he wanted to prove that humans were strong in other ways. Chris guided Tom to a training field inside the ship. The field was large and open, with many obstacles, walls, and platforms on the far side. Several war drones waited quietly. These drones were sleek and fast, designed to attack quickly and with precision. The test was simple. Tom had to defend himself and reach the other side of the field without being hit. The drones activated with a sudden hum. They moved like shadows, fast and silent. Tom took a deep breath and focused. He remembered the lessons from his mining days: patience, observation, and quick thinking. The first drone rushed at him. Tom jumped aside just in time. He grabbed a metal rod from the ground and used it to block the drone's sharp claws. The metal bent, but it was enough to stop the attack. More drones came, surrounding him from all sides. Tom did not panic. He used the walls to hide and force the drones to come one by one. He moved quickly, dodging and striking when the moment was right. One drone fired a laser beam. Tom rolled to the side and hit a control panel nearby. Suddenly, a platform rose and blocked the beam. Tom used the platform as a shield and continued moving forward. The drones grew more aggressive. Tom felt tired, but he did not stop. He used every trick he could think of. He climbed walls, slid under beams, and used his metal rod to keep the drones at a distance. The aliens watching the test were silent. They had never seen a human use such clever tactics before. Tom was not strong in muscle, but he was strong in mind and will. Slowly, Tom reached the other side of the field. The drones stopped chasing him. The test was over. Chris approached with a smile. "You did well, Tom. You did not destroy the drones, but you outsmarted them," one of the council members said. "Your strength is not in killing but in surviving and adapting. This is rare in the galaxy." Tom nodded. "Humans live in tough worlds. We learn to use our minds, not just weapons. That is why we survive." The council members looked thoughtful. They had expected a warrior who could destroy enemies quickly. Instead, they found a human who used patience and cleverness. Chris said, "This test has shown us a new kind of power. We will share this with the galaxy." Tom felt proud but also humble. He knew his people had much more to offer than just strength in battle. The aliens who came looking for a kill count had found something better, the true spirit of humanity. As Tom looked out the window at the stars, he felt ready for whatever came next. The galaxy was watching, and humans had a new story to tell. Tom spent the next few days aboard the alien ship. The Galactic Council had invited him to stay longer, to learn more about humans and their strength. Tom was curious too. He wanted the aliens to understand what made his people special. Chris often spoke with him. "Tom, many in the galaxy think strength means power to destroy. But you show us something different. What is your secret?" Tom thought carefully before answering. "Strength is not only about fighting. It is about surviving when times are hard. Humans face many dangers. We lose, but we get up again." Chris nodded slowly. "That is different from many species. Others often give up when defeated." Tom smiled. "We do not give up. We learn. We change. That is how we grow stronger." One day, Chris showed Tom a holo recording. It was a history of human struggles. The images showed wars, disasters, and great challenges, but they also showed humans helping each other, building new homes, and working together. Tom watched silently. The aliens were surprised to see humans not just as fighters, but as creators and helpers, Chris said. Your history is full of pain and hope. Your people never stop. Tom felt proud. We have no choice. We must survive for our families. For our future, the council members asked many questions. They wanted to know how humans stayed strong even without great weapons or fleets. Tom explained, our strength is in our minds and hearts. We trust each other. We work together. We never lose hope, Chris said. This is a new lesson for us. Maybe true power is in unity and will. Tom looked around the council chamber. He saw faces filled with respect. The aliens who once thought humans were only fighters now understood something deeper. One council member asked, will humans join the Galactic Council? Will you share your ways with us? Tom smiled. I believe we can learn from each other. Humans want peace, but will fight to protect what they love, Chris said. Then let this be the start of a new friendship. The galaxy will know humans not for their kill count, but for their spirit. Tom felt a new sense of purpose. His journey was no longer about proving strength in battle. It was about showing the world what it meant to be human. As the ship traveled through space, Tom looked at the stars. He thought of his home and his people. He knew the galaxy was changing. Humans would be part of that change. The truth about power was clear. It was not just about weapons or battles. It was about never giving up, about hope and unity. Tom was ready for whatever the future held. The galaxy had come to see the real strength of humanity. Tom stood at the entrance of the Galactic Council chamber, ready to leave. The journey that had begun with an unexpected invitation from strange aliens was now coming to an end. He had traveled far from his small mining colony to the heart of the galaxy, and he had learned much about himself and his people. News of Tom's presence and his story had spread across the galaxy. The aliens who once demanded to know his kill count now spoke of him with respect. His name was no longer just a name in old battle reports. It was a symbol of something new. The spirit of humanity. As Tom stepped onto the ship's observation deck, he saw the stars shining brightly. They seemed endless, like the future that waited for him and his people. He thought about how different things were now. The Galactic Council no longer saw humans as simple warriors. They saw them as survivors, thinkers, and friends. Chris came beside him. Tom, he said quietly, you have changed many minds here. You showed us that strength is more than fighting. You earn respect not by killing, but by being true to yourself. Tom smiled. I only told the truth about who we are. Humans are not perfect, but we never stop trying. We survive because we believe in something bigger than ourselves. Chris nodded. The galaxy will remember you. Your story will inspire others. Tom looked out again at the stars. He felt hope that humans and aliens could live together, learn from each other, and grow stronger as one. Back on his mining colony, life went on. But now, Tom was different. He carried the pride of his people. He knew his quiet life mattered. Just as much as the legends of warriors, messages from the Galactic Council arrived often. They asked for human advice on many matters: how to solve problems, how to build, how to work as a team. Tom shared what he knew. He became a bridge between humans and aliens. One day, Tom returned home. The people of the colony welcomed him with smiles and open arms. They listened as he told stories about the stars and the aliens he met. They were proud of their friend who had become a symbol. Across the galaxy. Tom looked at his home with new eyes. It was simple, but it was full of life and hope. He knew humans would face new challenges, but he also knew they were ready. The galaxy was changing, and humans were part of that change. Tom's journey had started with questions about a kill count. It ended with something greater: respect, friendship, and a new place for humanity in the stars. Tom felt ready. The future was wide open, and whatever came next, he knew humans would face it together, with courage and heart.